Ladies and gentlemen, if there is one thing which William Ruto cannot and will never allow to happen, and can only happen over his dead body, then is the defeat of the finance bill in parliament. There is no way William Ruto can afford to lose that finance bill in parliament. As a matter of fact, and I want you to take this to the bank, finance bill is going to pass in parliament, and William Ruto will deal with the consequences later. But on the day the finance bill will be brought before parliament, William Ruto is going to ensure it goes through. And members of parliament, especially Kenya Kwanza members of parliament, who will oppose this particular bill, will see the wrath of William Samoei Arap Ruto. In this video, I want to explain to you guys why William Ruto cannot afford to lose this bill. Before we do that, for those who are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us dive in straight to the point, because time is not on our side. Finance bill is currently one of the most searched items on Google. It's trending daily on Twitter. Almost each and every politician in this country is talking about finance bill. And it's as if this is the first finance bill we are discussing as a country since independence. But that's not the case. But can William Ruto afford to lose this finance bill? The finance bill has some good things, but most of the things in it are bad and will have huge impact in our lives. But William Ruto is keen on having that finance bill going through. Why do you think William Ruto cannot afford to lose this finance bill? Number one, if William Ruto were to lose this finance bill today, it will only prove one thing: that he's losing control of members of parliament, and is losing control of parliament. You might not know, but William Ruto has invested heavily in parliament. In fact, I think William Ruto is a very smart politician who is ahead of the pack. Immediately after the last election, William Ruto first of all targeted independent members of parliament. Ideally, independent members of parliament are supposed to operate as independent members of parliament. But all independent parliamentarians in this country decided to join William Ruto. I don't know what he gave them. Then after that, he targeted the members of parliament from the northern Kenya, who then joined him. Before we knew, other members of parliament, to an extent that even former Jubilee members of parliament are currently with William Samoei Arap Ruto. William Ruto today is comfortably commanding parliament with the numbers. After the last election, Azimio had more numbers in parliament. But right now, William Ruto has more members of parliament, in parliament. And because he has invested heavily, if he were to lose this bill, it's going to prove that he doesn't have control of that parliament. There is no way William Ruto can accept that. Number two, why he can't allow this to happen is because there's a fear in William Ruto's camp that if he's going to be defeated, then it means someone somewhere might sit and plot on how to impeach him out of office using parliament. They shall have noted his weaknesses. So William Ruto is not going to allow that to happen. He's going to stamp his authority, and he's going to ensure that the bill goes through. And for this bill to go through, it requires 2/3, not simple majority. If it was about simple majority, they would be singing everywhere. But it requires 2/3. The moment William Ruto will garner 2/3 of members of parliament to pass this bill, it means nobody in his right mind can actually contemplate taking motion of impeachment against Ruto or even frustrating him in parliament. The truth of the matter is that if this bill were to fail, it will be a question of numbers. Then what next? Frustrate his bills in parliament in future? Attempt to impeach him? If not him, attempt to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, because that can happen, or even attempt to remove some of his cabinet secretaries through parliament. So it means to avoid all those kind of games, he has to stamp his authority. He can only stamp his authority using numbers. Number 3, William Ruto would not want to lose this bill, because if you were to lose it, it means more members of parliament would start gathering the courage to defy him. As we speak, William Ruto is very clear to the members and with the members of parliament, especially from Kenya Kwanza, that you must vote for this bill. Very clear. So assuming tomorrow we go for this vote, and then it turns out that majority of members of parliament from the mountain actually voted against the bill, it's going to show that Kumbe Ruto can be defied. And because of that, more members of parliament will gather the courage. Currently, the fear most of these guys have is that they might oppose the bill, but still lose. So you are going to count double loss, rather than if they were to support the bill and then the bill goes through. The equation would be different. So because of the fear that if this bill is defeated, then more members of parliament can now start defying him. Ruto, I know, cannot allow that. He will preempt and ensure that the vote goes his way. On the day of this vote, I'm sure if your member of parliament will be voting for this bill and can't afford you coffee or buy you mandazi in the village the next weekend after that vote, they know he's a greedy man. Ile pesa wajumbe watamwagiwa pale parliament is going to be serious money, because William Ruto will not want these members of parliament to gather courage to defy him. Number 4, he cannot lose this. He cannot afford to lose it, because this is going to be the first major political contest, first major political fight since he was declared the president of the Republic of Kenya. William Ruto understands that he's now facing Uhuru Kenyatta head on. He's facing Raila Odinga head on. He understands that. He defeated them. This is the first major political contest. Is he going to win? Is he going to lose? If he's going to lose, then who are going to be victors? Simple. Uhuru and Raila. And there is no way William Ruto is going to accept defeat from Raila and Uhuru, especially this early. Because if that were to happen, it means they are going to garner or to gain momentum. You remember what happened to Kibaki after he lost the 2005 referendum. That's what propelled Raila Odinga. And again, it's simple. You would not want to start by losing. You would rather win than deal with the consequences of this particular bill. Number 5, why Ruto cannot accept or allow this bill to fail is because of the promises he made to Kenyans. Sometimes I listen to promises which William Ruto was making to the Hustler Nation, and I laugh because some of those promises were actually unrealistic. The worst bit of it is that William Ruto is still making some of those promises to date. You know, like for example, if William Ruto is promising jobs and is saying that the jobs will only come through housing, what will happen if indeed those houses will create jobs? Then they are completed within 2 years or 3 years. What will happen? Huh? So because he made promises which cannot just be met, he must get money. How can he get money? Taxes. And taxes must be approved in parliament. So there's no way he's going to allow that, because he wants to fulfill some of the promises. And lastly, and this is the truth, William Ruto is looking for campaign money for 2027. In 2013, they got the money for campaigns using SGR. William Ruto understands the psychology of ordinary Kenyan, that their politics is around tribe. Apart from tribe, William Ruto also understands that Kenyan politics is about money. You can use money to buy Kenyans to vote for you. He understands that. So he's strategizing to get enough money. Let me demonstrate for you guys. We are talking of building houses. How many units? Which company is going to build those houses? Which company is going to supply cement? I know you might not know, but William Ruto has a lot of interest in cement business. Who is going to supply paints? Which company is going to get contract? Which ministry is going to manage this project? Who are the ministers, the permanent secretaries? So it's going to be about campaign money. That's the honest truth, which you and I must accept. And that money is going to be made in 2 years. Then we move into election cycle. Those houses, some of them will be halfway. You'll be told tukipiga kura tuende next. Things will be okay. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.